In the ancient kingdom of Edebi, a land blessed with vast forests, golden rivers, and the melodic whispers of nature, peace thrived under the rule of King Oses. Known for his wisdom and fairness, the king was beloved by his people. His eldest son, Prince Eweka, however, was the antithesis of his father, a man driven by greed, cruelty, and an insatiable thirst for power. The Edebi people whispered behind closed doors about the wickedness growing in their palace. And as fate would have it, the actions of one man threatened to topple an entire kingdom. Eweka, the eldest son of King Oses, had always resented the laws of his father's reign. Why should a king care so much for the poor? He often muttered. Pacing his lavish chamber filled with treasures collected from the kingdom's wealth, one evening, Eweka summoned his closest confidant, Ikondeo. My father is weak, Eweka sneered. He is a fool who does not know how to wield true power. But I, Ikondeo, will change that. When I become king, the throne of Edebi shall be feared across the lands. Ikondeo hesitated, but, my prince, the people love the king. It would not be wise to stir their anger. Eweka's eyes darkened. They will learn to fear me, not love me, he spat. Eweka's thirst for power grew unbearable. Each day, he watched as King Oses attended to his subjects with fairness, settling disputes and ensuring the well-being of all. Eweka despised these acts of kindness, seeing them as a waste of royal authority. On market days, Eweka would walk among the common folk, scowling at their joy. He began imposing unreasonable taxes, demanding payments that left families destitute. The villagers pleaded with the king, but Eweka's wrath only grew. The queen, Eweka's mother, attempted to intervene. My son, she said one evening, power is a heavy crown. To rule with cruelty is to dig your own grave. But Eweka dismissed her with a wave of his hand. Save your words for the servants, mother. I will rule Edebi my way. One fateful night, the great oracle of the kingdom, Ais, visited the palace unannounced. Her staff, adorned with feathers and charms, clicked against the palace floor as she entered the throne room. I bring a warning, O great King Oses, she declared. The peace of this kingdom hangs by a thread. A wicked heart within these walls will bring calamity if left unchecked. All eyes turned to Prince Eweka, who glared at Ais with hatred. Be careful with your tongue, old woman. He barked. You speak riddles meant to sow discord. Ais met his gaze with calm intensity. Your destiny is yours to shape, prince. But the spirits do not lie. Unwilling to heed the oracle's warning, Eweka sought out dark powers to secure his path to the throne. He traveled to the forbidden forest of Isemiri, where the air was thick with mist and the trees whispered secrets of the ancient gods. In the heart of the forest, Eweka encountered Osagi, a feared sorcerer known for his dealings with forbidden magic. Osagi, what do you seek, young prince? Eweka, power. Enough power to take what is rightfully mine. Osagi smirked. The path to power is paved with sacrifice. What will you offer? Eweka did not hesitate. I will offer anything, gold, livestock, even the blood of my people. With those words, a dark deal was struck. Eweka's demeanor changed after his return. His once arrogant expression now carried a menacing calmness. Strange occurrences began plaguing the palace. Crops withered overnight, livestock fell sick, and the people of Edebi began whispering about a dark curse. Unbeknownst to them, Eweka was secretly working with Osagi, casting spells to weaken the kingdom's prosperity. He believed that a struggling people would welcome his rule over his father's failing reign. King Oses, aware of the unrest in his kingdom, summoned a council meeting. We must act swiftly to find the cause of these misfortunes, he said. Eweka feigned concern. Father, perhaps it is time you let me take charge. The people may need a stronger hand to restore order. But the king, though troubled, trusted his instincts. Kindness is not weakness, my son, he replied firmly. We will endure this trial together. Unable to manipulate his father, Eweka began plotting his betrayal. He secretly poisoned the king's food, a slow-acting venom that would weaken him over time. As the king's health deteriorated, Eweka positioned himself as the only capable ruler. However, whispers of his growing cruelty reached Ais, the oracle. She sought an audience with Emike, Yuka's younger brother, a gentle soul who had long feared his elder siblings' ambitions. Ayes revealed her vision to Emike. The fate of Edebi rests on your shoulders, she said. You must expose your brother's wickedness before it is too late. Though timid, Emike felt a stirring of courage. What must I do? He asked. The spirits will guide you, Ayes assured him. But beware, your brother's evil runs deep. The once mighty King Osaze of Edebi had grown frail, his movement sluggish, his voice weak. Yuka's venom had begun its work. In public, the prince postured as the concerned son. In private, he relished his slow march to power. King Osaze called for a meeting with his council. His health had worsened so visibly that some murmured about the need for a regent. As they assembled in the great hall, the air was thick with tension. King Osaze, I sense unrest in the kingdom. Crops fail, livestock perish, and shadows linger where light should reign. Yuka stood beside him, a picture of false piety. Father, allow me to lead the people in your place, he said, bowing deeply. The council murmured. Emike, the younger prince, clenched his fist but said nothing. He was not yet ready to expose Yuka's treachery, lacking proof. For now, he observed and waited, knowing Ayes had urged patience. As the meeting concluded, Yuka's mind raced. He needed to accelerate his plans. In the dead of night, Yuka met with Osagi in the depths of the forbidden forest once more. The sorcerer's heart reeked of death, with charms and skulls adorning every surface. Yuka, the poison works too slowly. My father lingers, and the people do not yet fear me. What else can you offer? Osagi chuckled. A low, menacing sound. Impatience will be your undoing, prince. The spirits demand a sacrifice, someone close to the king. Only then will you rise to power. Yuka paused. He thought of Emike, the brother who loved him despite everything. A cruel grin spread across his face. It will be done, he said. Emike had grown suspicious of his brother. While Yuka played the dutiful son, Emike noticed strange comings and goings late at night. One evening, he decided to follow his brother, staying hidden in the shadows. Through the dense forest, he trailed Yuka to Osagi's lair. He crouched behind a tree, heart pounding. As he overheard their dark conversation, Osagi, spill the blood of your brother, and the throne will be yours. Do not delay. Emike's stomach twisted in terror. He hurried back to the palace, desperate to tell Ayes what he had learned. The next morning, Emike met Ayes in the secrecy of her shrine. Her eyes narrowed as he recounted what he had seen. Ayes, your brother is fully lost to the darkness. But the spirits have given us one last chance to stop him. She handed Emike a small charm, its surface engraved with ancient markings. Wear this close to your heart. When the moment comes, it will protect you from harm. Emike's hands trembled as he accepted the charm. But Ayes, how do I fight a man with so much power? The oracle smiled. By revealing his heart to the people. Darkness thrives in secrecy. Bring it into the light, and it will crumble. Yuka wasted no time. That night, he lured Emike into the forest under the guise of wanting to discuss family matters. The moon hung low, casting long shadows as they walked. Yuka, brother, do you not worry for father's health? I do. It has weighed on me heavily. Emike sensed the trap but kept his voice steady. Of course, I worry. We must all protect him. As they reached the clearing, Yuka's tone grew cold. Protect him. From me, perhaps. He lunged at Emike with a dagger, his eyes wild with desperation. The charm around Emike's neck began to glow, emitting a bright light that blinded Yuka. He stumbled back, dropping the blade. From the shadows, Ayes appeared, her staff raised. Ayes, the spirits have spoken, Yuka. Your wickedness ends here. Before Yuka could flee, a great wind howled through the clearing. The trees groaned as if alive, their branches twisting to form a cage around the prince. Osagi's dark magic had backfired. The spirits he sought to control turned against him. Yuka screamed as the earth beneath him began to tremble. Faces of the villagers, those he had wronged, seemed to appear in the shadows, whispering of his cruelty. Yuka, no. This cannot be. The ground swallowed him, leaving only silence behind. With Eweka gone, the dark cloud over Edebi lifted. Crops began to flourish again, and the livestock regained their health. The people celebrated as if a long nightmare had ended. King Oses, though still frail, thanked Emike for his courage. "You have shown the strength of a true leader," he said, placing a hand on his son's shoulder, but Emike shook his head. "It is the spirits and the wisdom of Ayes that saved us, father. I am but their messenger." Osagi, knowing his power was broken, fled deeper into the forest. But the spirits were relentless. Ayes warned the villagers never to venture into the forbidden forest again, for Osagi's lingering curse would remain. King Oses formally named Emike as his heir. "Edebi needs a ruler who will lead with compassion," he declared. The people cheered, their faith in the royal family renewed. For generations, the story of the wicked Prince Eweka was told in Edebi. It became a warning to all about the dangers of greed and the power of justice. Under Emike's rule, Edebi flourished. He built schools, improved trade, and ensured fair treatment for all. He was a king who remembered the lessons of the past, ruling not with fear but with love. The moral of the story became the heart of Edebi's teachings: greed and ambition without honor lead to ruin.